Gotta announce.
Wait, what? What'd you say?
Gotta announce.
No, I'm not gonna. We have three people on this phone call, so we're probably gonna end up talking over one another at some point.
Probably
Yeah. Okay.
happens with me and you. So
Mm-hmm. That's just two.
yes.
But we have a three today.
A three.
We have a third. We have a third. We're 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 a thruple.
You look good, Liz, after a long night of crazy.
Oh my God. I'm so tired, but I'm good.
Are you?
I'm
Yeah.
alive.
Did you
Huh?
get coffee?
Yes. Yes. I did. I have had coffee. I've had two coffees actually because yeah, I
Yeah.
just coffee is good. I haven't drank in, I don't know, over a month, and then I had like four drinks last night. Oh,
You
it
can't
was a
do that
lot.
to yourself.
I know. I know.
Um,
Ooh, what are
so
we doing today?
who's the third voice today, Liz? What? Who is that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's ask them. How do you know these two clowns? How do you know us?
You are my daughters.
Oh my God. We've been wanting to get mom on for a long time, and mom is hesitant.
I am averse.
That that's well, I don't like public either. I don't like peopling.
Well, once it's on the interweb, it's public.
Well, all of our six viewers are going to be excited to hear from you.
Okay, great.
Oh,
Wouldn't it be funny if we found out, like, in some Polish prison, we were like the most popular, hottest like podcast? Do you know what I
Probably
mean?
need to wear a bikini to do that.
Right? No,
uh,
I don't know. Okay. Anyway,
So I met you guys in 1977 and 1979.
yes, we met you at a very early age.
You did. In
how old
Denver,
were you? How old were
Colorado.
you when you had me? 20? 21.
21, I think. I
Okay.
think I was 20.
21.
You were a shocker too. I
I was
was
a
not,
surprise baby.
I was not ready for children.
Is anybody ready for children? Even if you think you're ready, you're definitely not.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, if you were 21 in October, you had
Rachel's
just
frozen.
if you were
Mom's frozen.
it's just your computer, Liz. If you were 21, mom,
Okay.
in October, right? So,
Yeah.
so you would turn 21 in September, then that means you were 22 when you had me. So you had one at 21, one at 22 because it hadn't, right?
No,
That's
it
what
was 18 months before I had you. So I was
six,
23.
15.
six,
Wait,
15, mom.
oh,
You were
15.
yeah,
Still,
right?
still, so
16.
22.
Yeah. Yeah, but you had just turned 21 when you had Liz,
Well, that's what I'm assuming. It could be 22, but yes.
right? So it was you just 1 year than the next. Like
Yeah.
Liz, no, you didn't. Wait, your girls are 15 months apart, aren't they? 16?
Yeah, but mom turned 21 in October.
Nope,
In September.
September, and then she had you in October, so she was
Yes,
20.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I bet I was 22, Liz,
Yeah.
in September, and then 23 when I had Rachel.
Yeah. That sounds similar
Yeah.
to moi.
We
Oh,
we have a pattern.
yeah.
We have established the pattern.
Yeah. We are the pattern.
You are.
Um, well, so let's see. That's how we first met. What was your initial impression of us?
Well, if you've ever had any children and you have a baby, you immediately fall in love in spite of the pain and horror that you had to go through to get them out of you. So
Thanks. Thanks,
nothing,
Mom.
nothing but love and care
Thanks. Thanks
since
for
then.
not aborting my breech birth.
Yeah, well, I'm just discussing the horror of having a child.
Yes. It is horror.
And then you turn it around and it's the most wonderful thing you ever did. So pros and cons.
Mhm.
Literally.
So if Liz was a surprise, then I was a choice.
No,
You're like, no.
no, your dad just kept wanting to fuck. So,
As one does.
That's what
when I
happened.
was, I was so naive. Oh my God. So naive. But,
Same.
We've all been there.
huh?
We've all
We've all
been
been
there.
there.
Yeah. I think I'm still naive. I'm
Yes.
not sure why somebody is like that, but you know, I just am.
I have
I
thoughts on
think,
that.
huh?
I said I have thoughts on that. I think it's often, I think a lot of people are like that because it's easier to just get told what to do and feel as though that is a structure for you to follow. So when you don't have to make a choice or decision and it's just laid out for you, some things are just freaking easier that way. Like I don't want to think about everything that I have to do. I want my scheduling software to do it, right? Meaning I don't want to sit there and do it all manually. But I think that that's the same thing.
Naive is more like though gullible or um
I agree. Gullible might be
Trusting.
part of the word.
I
yes.
think trust too. Like we all assume that people are good.
I still do that
Yeah.
in
I
spite
give
of it all.
I give them one chance.
Yeah, that's all they get. I agree. I'm a one chancer too.
Yeah.
Although certain people that I love get more chances.
Yes. I'm when I say people, I mean not family.
Okay.
Strangers.
Family is not people.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I think I go through waves of trust. So sometimes I'm like very trusting, other times I'm like, nope, not trusting anything.
But don't you
Um,
think you get a vibe? You get a vibe.
oh, I get a vibe from people instantly. Um, I feel like I read people very well in first impressions. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
I think we all have gotten that skill
Yeah.
based on experience.
Mhm. Yeah. But sometimes I'm wrong, so that sucks.
Yeah.
Because yeah, best impressions sometimes are false.
Yeah.
So oh,
So anyway, you guys are the best thing that ever happened to me.
Aw.
In spite of what I did to you or allowed to happen to you,
well,
I
I don't know if you allowed it to happen. Um,
I did.
well, no, because you didn't
Didn't
know.
know it was
Yeah,
happening.
right. So you didn't know it was happening. You thought you were doing the best thing for us. It took me a long time to figure that out. I think um once bad shit happens to your own kids, you go, fuck.
Yep.
You're like, okay, so maybe it's not their fault. But then I mean, as a parent, you blame yourself no matter what
Yep.
because you do feel guilty and that guilt is always there and it sucks. And also, if you really look at it and go, how could this have been prevented? We would have never been at that cult in the first place ever. You know what I mean? Looking back, you would have been like, well, we would have never joined that place.
Yeah.
But hindsight is always 2020.
Yeah.
Right. Um,
Wise words, Liz.
let's talk about you, Mom.
Okay.
Um, so
Family
we have,
members, I would have never and so what's the right word? Believing. Well, I don't even know if it's believing, but like when my middle child that went through a lot of trauma, when I just thought, going to work, great thing. And in a million years, you don't think someone's going to be picked up off the street walking home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's bad people everywhere in all situations, and there's good people everywhere too. So, there's both sides to that. Trust is hard, I think. And I think it has to be earned, I don't know.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about me.
yeah, I was like, okay,
Yeah, let's talk about you, Mom.
we're here to interview her.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so let's see.
What made you move to Colorado Springs?
Oh, you want to know the whole story there?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
bring it.
So, your dad and I were living in Colorado, in Denver. We had
what
moved.
made you move to Denver, though?
We were both in the Marines.
Okay.
Your dad wanted to get out of the Marines, which he did. I subsequently got out as well. And thinking of a place to go, he wanted to go back to his hometown, which was Denver, Thornton, actually, which is a suburb. And so we moved back there to live with his mother.
How was that?
She did the best she could. That's all you
Okay.
can do.
Okay.
I was still in the follow whoever leads part of my life, and went along. Of course, now I don't think you guys knew that we joined a church when we were in Jacksonville, North Carolina, which was where the Marine Corps base was.
Yes, we knew.
Okay.
We joined a church there. So then we found a church when we got to Denver.
You told us that before, Mom. I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we wrote about it a little bit.
okay. Anyway, your dad committed rape.
Criming.
Yep, he did some crimes in Denver and was sentenced to prison in Canyon City. As the dutiful wife, I drove to see him regularly.
I remember.
And decided that it was a long drive, so I was going to look for a cheaper place to live in a closer town, which I decided was Colorado Springs because there was a good church there. And I found this apartment for $90 a month, if you can imagine. That was in
Had to be 80.
Maybe 80. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we drove back and forth.
Was he convicted of rape?
It was called felony menacing.
We looked up his records, Liz.
Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, felony menacing. Okay.
Yeah, felony
And then
menacing.
how long was he supposed to be in prison?
He was convicted of 2 different counts of something.
Okay.
Maybe it was 2 counts of felony menacing. Each count had 2.5 years. So he was going to be there 5 years. However, they let him because he was
Jesus.
a great prisoner. He only served 2.5. So
Great prisoner.
he was a great prisoner.
What are you good at? Prisoning. I'm good at prisoning. Put it on my resume. I come from a long line of prisoners.
And we're good at it. So anyway, he got out after 2.5 years, and we moved somewhere else in Colorado Springs, probably that
Hotel?
fourplex.
Oh, it was a duplex. Okay. I was thinking it was a hotel. I didn't remember hotels.
Oh,
Motels.
so that was the first. Rachel had just been born.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't recall.
I have it out of order, but somewhere in that time we moved to, after he'd gotten out, we did move to a hotel and lived there for quite a few months.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then we moved maybe to the fourplex over there where the Stanhopes lived.
Well,
And then
that's where I pooped my swimsuit, or not my swimsuit, my snowsuit.
that's where you have that picture of you guys being
Yes.
little.
Yes, where it was like 6 feet of snow.
Yeah.
It was
Blizzard.
probably more like 4. I don't
It
know.
was like 81 or 82, that blizzard.
No, that's a different blizzard.
Oh.
Maybe it is the same. Yeah, it probably
One
is.
of those.
Anyway, he was screwing around again after a year or so, and I kicked him out, actually, made him leave
I never knew this.
with Carl Dill's help.
Oh yeah. Okay. I did know this. You told me. I remember. Okay.
And
So he was a serial cheater.
he was a serial cheater.
Well, we can all agree that he had commitment issues.
He had a lot of issues that seemed to get worse as he got older. So sad but true.
Well, we know
Okay. So what did you do when you kicked him out for a job?
So then I had to find a job because actually I could have lived on assistance for a long time, and I probably did. Um, that's a blank. I don't know. Somewhere.
you probably had some on and off, because I don't know how you could have done it without working, right? So there maybe on and off. I remember on and off with that stuff.
Assistance.
Yeah. Like there
Yeah.
would be times when you were okay with it, and then times when you weren't, but I think it was like you didn't want to be if you didn't have to, or yada yada. But
Yeah,
I don't know how you want to run it.
it's true that I did not want to be on it, but
Well, that's also because the
Reagan era and the church.
was, yes, it demonized that, and I guess is the, I don't know if demonize is the right word, but
Yeah.
didn't think that
no,
people
I
should
think
be.
that's the right word,
Yeah.
Liz. They did
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. Made you feel less than for if you needed to use assistance, which
Yeah, because clearly God was
so messed up.
Yeah. I mean, a number of people would say, that's what it's for. It's actually
Exactly.
for
That is the point.
a person in your situation. So
Yes.
that's probably why I got on and off occasionally.
I remember you telling us at some points when we were growing up, because we would say, why don't you get on food stamps? And back then it was like food stamps in this book. 'Cause I remember a couple times when you had it, it was like this book of like
food stamps.
Literally stamps.
There were actual stamps. It was a coupon book.
Yes.
A coupon.
Yes.
A coupon
We were
book.
so embarrassed to use them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I was embarrassed to use them.
So that's why you moved there. And then what about, and you didn't have a ton of like job skills and stuff, and you had 3 small kids. So how did you get to being a successful retiree?
And the CFO of a hospital.
Well, let's see. Wow.
You can always say
Okay.
pass if you don't
So
want to.
I started, at some point, I started to go to college at the church, and I would clean houses, hotels, things like that on the side to make money. After I got my degree, I started teaching school there at the church. So I did that for many years while you guys were little. And then at some point, you started to be teenagers, and I felt like I was not making enough money to survive the teenage years. So I started looking for a job, and I found a job answering phones at
LaHulier,
Erler, and
Nolan.
Okay, I did that first. You're right. LaHulier, Erler, and Nolan. And I couldn't believe they wanted me to say that. Neither did you. Okay, don't say that again.
No, Liz, don't expand on what we did, because that's a story.
Another story.
Oh, no. It's
For
okay to
another
say
time.
it's okay to say it, but that's what you started. So you answered
Yep.
phones.
Yep. And actually, I did temporary work. That's what I did. That's how I got into that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I worked temporary at Pikes Peak Cardiology. That was it.
Yep. Billing.
Got into that. They hired me on full time. I moved to the billing department after a year or two. Then everybody left the billing department. There was only me left, so they moved me up to a supervisor. And then I went from supervisor to manager to...
You made yourself indispensable.
I absolutely did. I was a hard worker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wanted to work, and it felt good to be a hard worker.
It feels good to be needed too.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
I know two people that resemble that remark.
It's really hard when your kids don't need you anymore. I tell you that.
Oh my God, you're speaking. Can you guys have this somewhere else in therapy?
Anyway, so then I became the chief financial officer because I knew more than everyone else.
Because you had an accredited degree in finance.
I did have a degree, and it wasn't in finance. It was in education.
Yes.
And it wasn't accredited by anybody.
The Lord Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior.
Yeah, he accredited me. Anyway, worked out really well for me.
I know. So, and then you just went up and up and up, climbed that ladder, and then you were actually smart and got to retire. And where do you live now, Mom?
I live in Colorado City, Colorado. A beautiful place I have a beautiful home.
How are the deer?
Many, many deer. Many deer. No bears this year at all.
No what?
That's why there's so many deer.
Bears. No, bears don't eat deer. And deer don't eat bears.
I think Liz and I heard a bear eating a deer when we were there.
Yeah, they're going to start talking about thinning the herd a little bit because there's a lot of deer.
There's a lot of deer.
What does that mean? What does that look like?
I don't know. They're supposed to have a community meeting, so it probably means a certain amount of people are going to be able to kill a deer.
Well, call Randy
for dinner.
Call Randy when that happens, because he'll be there in 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yep.
To help thin the herd.
Yes. And there's some big deer here.
Yeah, there is some big deer.
Did that answer your question?
Absolutely. Liz, do you want to, I asked that one about Mom. Do you want to ask anything? Or do you want to lead the witness?
So, I guess I really don't, because the questions I have are all irrelevant as far as like the things that I'm thinking in my mind right now. I'm trying to think of something that would
Liz?
Be what?
Open the chat.
Open the chat. open the chat. Okay. So
I was just like,
you moved away from Colorado for a bit
oh yeah.
and moved to Lubbock, Texas, where we were living
Oh, yeah, we did.
before you became the CFO, right?
That's true.
And you got what was the right word? Incentivized to move back
I did.
because they missed you so much at your job.
Yep, it's true. So we, after we found out what had happened to Rachel, I tried to live in the town and could not emotionally deal with it. Did you know I had a conversation with my mother about that? And she thought I was running away from my problems.
Can you disagree with her now?
I mean, I left a lot of good things. The nice house we had, the job I had. I don't think I regret doing it though. I don't feel like it was a running away. It was something to deal with the emotional issues I was experiencing because of what I had learned.
I ran away.
Mom, you physically ran away.
I did.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what I mean. I think she was just telling you that is that you are geographically running away, like literally, right? And does that make sense? And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think it was punitive. She wasn't saying that that was wrong. She was just pointing that out. But we all know that, like it's obvious. That's what we did, right? And I think that that's fair. It's a good response, right? Because yeah.
Anyway, we moved to Lubbock, and I somehow I bought a house there.
Yeah, you did. You bought 2 houses there.
No, just one.
Oh, was the Rock House the rental?
No, I lived in yes, the Rock House was a rental.
Okay.
We lived in an apartment for a while, and then we moved to that Rock House. That was a rental, and then we bought the other house on the, was it 3rd Street? I can't remember. Anyway, lived there, went through some boyfriends, and the the old job I had called me back and asked me to come back because they couldn't find anybody that did what I did, apparently. So
it was a good move, though.
Yeah,
it was. Gave me a great
bonus. It was the best move, and then you met your current husband.
Yeah.
So in running away, it actually proved advantageous for you. I mean, because it was kind of like you upgraded, right, with a pause, and that's a good thing.
It helped me mentally.
Mom.
Yes.
You can say pass if you don't want to answer this. So that's okay if you don't. Can you tell us a little bit about your dating life after dad?
After dad?
Yeah. Well, so like after dad, just give us the arc of like where you are now and like timelines. And
after your dad, I was still thinking that the Bible was my roadmap for life. So from what I'd heard, what people had told me, what I read, led me to believe that marriage was, I don't know if sacred vow is way too right for what I actually mean. However, it was important to keep sex within that sacred.
Even though you were divorced?
Yes. Although it doesn't mean I didn't think about it. Haha. Anyway, I I kept myself to myself and didn't do any dating for
a long time.
15 years.
Okay.
15 years. I was trying to survive mentally and physically. I was trying to raise you guys. I was trying to bring money in. My focus was on that, and putting or having a partner was more than I could handle. So 15 years of that. Once I found out about Rachel, I absolutely went off the deep end because she was,
Hard same. We all did.
yep, a catalyst to the thought that there was a different world out there, and I'm gonna just go have fun. So I did.
I remember those days.
Me too. That's why I was like,
And
oh my God.
I remember just being like completely shocked that you were finally like doing stuff. Because I mean, you were wearing clothes you've never worn before. You were going to bars. You were, and this was because we were all grown and you finally were like, I have freedom because my kids aren't here and I don't have to take care of them anymore. And yeah, I think you went, I'm making up for lost time for 15 years.
I remember
I mean,
this wild, and I was like, get it, girl. Like,
I know.
I was like so glad you were doing it because I wanted you to be happy and like do the things and have fun. Cause yeah, you were like basically a nun for that, when like 15 years. I'm like, go get it. Get those cobwebs out.
Yeah. Well, back at the church, they tried to get me to date Jim Hathaway
And Graham.
and Graham.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I looked at those guys with like, uh
But you were very attracted to our father,
yeah,
weren't you? Yeah.
yeah, sure. But he paid attention to me. I mean, that was kind of part of it, was the fact that he paid attention to me.
Yeah.
So
While
I
doing
was a very
others.
insecure person. So
Okay.
somebody was paying attention, and woo, that was good. So I don't remember what the question was, but
Oh, I was asking you to talk about your dating life and stuff.
oh,
And then we were like cracking up
and
about
then I just started picking up men in bars. So and I tried to keep it in a circle of 3 or 4, and I did. There was 3 or 4 guys that I saw on the regular.
I love it.
And then I moved back to
Did you meet
Springs.
Roy on a dating website?
Yeah, I did. I got on Yahoo Singles.
Oh.
Ow.
And that's actually where I met Roy.
Is that
Yeah,
still
that's what I was
around?
asking. Interesting.
No, I gotta Google it right now. Is Yahoo Singles still exist?
It's not there anymore. It is not a thing.
No, it shut down in July of 2010.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all been together for 14 years?
Yeah, it's almost 15. It's 15.
Wow. So you just got in the nick of time.
The Last of Us.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, let's do we should do like a little speed round like with of Liz and I between the two of us. Right? So you'll just say Liz or Rachel. I'll keep score. Okay, ready? So Liz gets points, Rachel gets points. Okay, so you can just pick one, right? Or you can say both, or you could say neither. So Liz, Rachel, or neither. So, okay.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll try to
Just
join.
pick one. We're just gonna do a silly little round robin quiz. Okay. And Liz, you can So follow me with a question,
Sure.
right? Rachel, Liz, or yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So, and you can also say pass if you don't want to answer, Mom.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So, question 1. Which of us is the least organized?
What if I think both of you are organized?
Okay, so that's a point for no points for either one. Okay, go, Liz.
Okay. Who is the best? Oh my God. I had a
Okay.
question in my brain and
Okay,
now I
okay, okay,
forgot.
okay. I've got
You
it.
go again. Go again.
Who's the funniest?
Rachel.
Who's the smartest?
Oh, that's hard because you're both so smart.
Okay, you
Pass.
can't be political either. Okay.
How do I not be political? I'm your mother.
It's okay.
I know,
We
but
all
you
have favorites. We all have
Okay.
favorites. It's okay. Okay. Who is the most outgoing?
Rachel.
Yes. Who is the most empathetic?
Liz.
Duh. That's cheating. That's cheating. um, who's the most self-conscious?
Liz.
Okay. Who is the most athletic?
You know, I don't know. I have to go with Rachel. However,
Yeah.
you are very athletic.
Not right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Who was the easiest kid to raise when they were young?
Oh my God, Liz.
Okay, perfect. Go, Liz. I gave you that one.
You totally did.
Go.
Who was the loudest?
Liz.
Okay, now she's just full out blatantly cheating. Who was the who was the easiest baby?
Ooh.
It's still Liz.
Okay.
Okay. Who is
probably
the
your other
most
sibling, though? Really?
Oh, I got one. Go, Liz.
who's the most outgoing?
We already did that one.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whose phone would you answer first if we both at the same time?
That's a good one.
That is not a good question. Pass.
We could try it right now. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Fred.
Who is most into sports?
Dick.
Rachel.
Football,
you mean?
Taking it. I'm taking
Okay,
it.
so I took
Trying to cheat.
as
No, I'm taking that. She tried to cheat, and
I totally did.
That was a fail, so I'm taking that. Okay. Who was the most rebellious of authority?
Rachel.
Who is most likely to get a random tattoo?
Okay.
Wow. Probably Rachel.
Okay. Shocking. Well, not really, but yes. Who is the biggest conspiracy theorist?
I think it's you, Liz.
Okay.
That's
probably true.
Okay. Who has the best eye for design, fashion, and culture?
I think that you think it's you, Rachel. But I don't know.
Now mom started to play the game. Okay. Let's do last one, Liz.
Okay. Who's most likely to fake their own death?
What?
Oh, that's a good one, Liz. Well done.
Probably Rachel.
Okay.
Thanks, Liz. So that was
Uh,
but you know what? You would have won if she didn't screw up on a couple. So hey, good job. Good job. That worked against you, by the way.
I know.
Okay. So really quick, we want to get moving with this. So we do wins and fails every time this season, Mom. So like out of the week or whatever, right now, what's going on in your life? Like what's your win, what's your fail this week? And then we have to do a sign off.
Mm-hmm.
So Liz, did you prepare?
A sign off? I did the last one, but I can definitely have another one.
All right.
Okay, so I'll go first with my wins and fails. Ready? Okay. So my win for the current time is that I have moved to Oklahoma City. And I like my new place. We're all unpacked. Everything went well. And now Randy is closer to his job and I'm further away. So that's kind of a win. It's a win for him for sure. The further away part is not really a win for me, but it's not bad. And also, I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's my win is that we found a place, we got moved, everything. Yes, it was good. And then my fail is that my entire family has been sick for weeks. Not me and Randy, we've stayed away from them, but everybody's sick. Like COVID, pink eye, the flu A, norovirus, like all of the things you can get, they have gotten. And so they're all sick. So I haven't seen anybody. I actually got to see Delilah and Hillary last night because they're starting to be on the mend. And we did something for Randy's birthday. But so I guess that would be the fail is that the sickness going around is a little bit ridiculous. Anyway, go ahead, Rachel.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna start with my fail. No, I'm gonna start with my win. My win is food and travel and connection, face to face, like in person connection, and being able to travel and see other people and folks and culture. So that's my energy. It's my battery recharge. So I'm thankful and win when I get to travel. My fail is kind of the opposite. It's like chronic online negativity with people, right? And like people just having these whole entire realities inside of their like online, rabbit hole down Reddit or whatever. And like they're most likely arguing with a bot, like 9 times out of 10, and they're just getting incensed and angry and pissed about it. And I think it's awful. So that's my fail, is like you don't even know if you're arguing with a bot. Like and they're just pissed about it. And I'm like, okay, that's a choice. So that makes me sad that that's what people choose to do. So I guess there's a kind of polar opposites, but win and fail. All right, Mom, what do you got?
I don't have anything. I can't do things spur of the moment.
Okay.
What about okay, that's fine. You don't have to. You can pass. Okay. Thanks, Mom.
Sure.
For coming on. This was fun.
It was fun.
Always good to see your wonderful faces.
You made them. You made them. Love you too, Mom.
Okay.
Love you. Love you.
Okay.
Love you.
Are we
Okay.
ready for my sign off?
Oh, you're doing it. Go for it.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
Okay. Stay positive and keep testing negative.
Okay.